If you ask diners in London or New York to picture Indian food, they will almost certainly imagine dishes like butter chicken and warm naan. As that familiar image fades away, we are left with a commercialized menu born largely from the 1947 refugee crisis. Assuming a landmass that houses over 1 billion people shares a single native cuisine makes as much sense as expecting all of Europe to share one recipe. True South Asian cuisine is a collection of distinct regional food worlds separated by invisible structural borders. To understand what people actually eat here, we have to discard the high street restaurant menu and build a new map from the soil up. The glossy restaurant menu is a surface layer covering the intersections of geography, social code, and historical migration that dictate human survival. This map highlights the physical boundary shaping the diet, the 100-centimeter annual rainfall line. East and south, the monsoon drops heavy rain, supporting massive yields of crops like rice. North and west, the climate is semi-arid. Farmers here cultivate drought-resistant crops like wheat. This flooded landscape dictates a diet built on boiled carbohydrates. Heavy rainfall in places like Bengal sustains the standing water needed for these terraced paddies. The arid north changes the plate entirely. Regions like Rajasthan rely on hardy grasses, shifting the daily diet from boiled rice toward baked flatbreads. This hydrological split defines the regional baseline. Weather patterns determine the foundation of every meal. While climate dictates what can grow, human geography dictates who eats it. In India, the social hierarchies of the caste system police the harvest. The Sattvic diet sits at the top of the societal purity hierarchy. It is strictly vegetarian, avoiding pungent roots believed to violate ritual cleanliness. Dalit communities were pushed to the bottom. Structural poverty and exclusion meant their culinary traditions were defined by necessity, consuming coarse grains rejected by upper castes. These dietary laws regarding purity and pollution remain a force in the modern world, often dictating who can live in which neighborhoods. In cities like Mumbai, agents restrict tenancy to vegetarians, using food smell to discriminate. Food in the subcontinent is a tool for social control. These dietary boundaries continue to enforce historical hierarchies and modern exclusion. The third layer of the map tracks historical movement. Food borders shift when people are displaced. The 1947 partition triggered a violent exchange of populations. Millions moved into refugee camps, bringing their local cooking styles into completely new environments. Displaced Punjabis migrating into India popularized the roadside dhaba. They introduced high-heat cooking in clay tandoors, creating dishes that became global staples. Other migrations were driven by the climate. After severe floods hit the town of Udupi in 1923, highly skilled temple cooks fled for major cities. These displaced cooks established Udupi restaurants in cities like Bombay to feed growing working populations, making South Indian vegetarian staples a part of urban life. The most recognized Indian dishes are records of survival. They show how regional traditions were reshaped by the need to adapt during periods of displacement. These layers, weather lines, social status, and migration routes, form the matrix of the subcontinent's diet. A new focus on regional staples is emerging. Chefs are increasingly bypassing the generic menu to source ingredients like fermented bamboo shoots or native millets that were previously ignored by mainstream commercial dining. This movement forces consumers to confront the anthropophysiology and ecology of the region. It strips away the commercialized fantasy to show how the food is tied to the land. To eat from this subcontinent is to encounter the specific rainfall of a region, the social codes of its people, and the paths of those who migrated to survive.